Good evening. Welcome to the next week. This will be a fairly quick little lecture. I've decided to break this up into smaller pieces and then give you little things sort of maybe every time, maybe not every time, but periodically, giving the new reality. Anyway, what we're talking about again are things that change demand other than price. And last time we talked about taste. This time I want to do two of them. They won't take very long. The first one is called number of buyers. So when you think about the number of people that live in a city, a town, a state, whatever, let's just use, let me look out my window, see what it looks like. San Diego. I like San Diego. Hopefully you've been there. Let's say that San Diego has, 5 million people that live in the metro area. Okay. Every one of those people is a buyer. Even if they don't actually buy, they can potentially buy. Whether you're a baby, whether you're a blind guy, you could still potentially buy eyeglasses and things like that. So everybody is a buyer. Well, what I'm going to get into here real quick is how do you change that? If you think about something like diapers, or let's just use food, okay? If you've got 5 million people in San Diego, you have 5 million buyers of food. Easy. How do food companies, Kraft and whoever, sell more food to those people? Well, you can either encourage them to get fat, and I'm not talking about different varieties, I'm talking about more actual food. The only real way to get more people to buy food in San Diego is to get more people. So if you increase that population from 5 million to 5.5, then obviously you get more people who need to eat. So then they buy food. So the trick is, how do you get people to move to your city? San Diego would say, move here because it's by the ocean, it's warm, it's not humid, and it's beautiful out there. If you like to sail, if you like to go to the God, do you have any sports teams left? The Padres game, the baseball team. If you like to go to the mountains are pretty close. If you want to go to Mexico, Mexico's pretty close. There are lots of things to do. I'm sure there's an opera and plays and culture and sort of Mexican food and so on. But think about any city, has attractions. Our attraction is we're cheap. Indianapolis is fairly cheap to live in, and it's not a high crime rate, and it's calm, and it's not crowded, and they got good schools. And San Diego has good schools too. And if you think about schools, things to do, jobs, of course. People generally, when they move to cities, they move for a profession. So when you think about having good, high quality, high paying jobs, that attracts people. So the relationship simply, number of buyers increases, then demand increases, no matter what it is. For common goods, especially for rare goods, it depends on the who the people are that move there. If you've got 100,000 old people that move there, you're probably not going to need you're going to sell any more skateboards. But you get the idea. Okay, so there's that. Number 3, income is also known as the income effect. Just think about someone who gets a raise, and this is a tough time to think about that, but you get a raise, or you get that $1,200 check. Your parents are getting a $1,200 check a piece, and to some people, hopefully it's not your parents, but they're going to be like, hey, that's free money, and they're going to go out and want to spend it. But if you think about somebody gets a raise, somebody wins the lottery, somebody gets an inheritance after a suitable amount of time, there's often an urge to spend that money. How? Okay, if you won the lottery, what would change about your behavior? Would you sell your car and get a nicer one? Would you sell your house and build a nicer one? Would you go on fancier vacations? Would you eat fancier food? Or would you eat out more often, or out at Ruth's Chris and St. Elmo instead of eating at Montana Mike's? The answer to that, probably for most people, is yes. So the relationship I want you to get here, and this is a little bit complicated, not really, but just a little different, is when income increases, okay, demand will increase, but generally only for what we'll call luxury items. Think about, you're going to buy lobster instead of fish sticks. You're going to buy filet instead of hamburger. You might get a Ferrari instead of a Toyota kind of thing. But at the same time, demand is going to decrease for what we'll call generic items: fish sticks, hamburger, cheap ice cream. We tend to go up in quality, or in what we perceive as quality or amount. You used to go to Kings Island every summer, now you go to Disney World, kind of thing. Or you used to go to June Jamboree, and now you go to Kings Island, or something like that. And this is pretty much true. So again, demand, income increases, demand for luxury items goes up, demand for generic items goes down, and then vice versa. All right, good place to stop. We'll see you next time. Bye.